Hey, what's up, you guys? We are outside of the Innovation Center here in Kelowna, British Columbia, and I just got done learning some amazing stuff to make this podcast and the things that we bring to you even better. And this podcast actually turned into a little bit of a Q&A episode versus me just dropping knowledge, which is great. You guys are going to get value out of it. It's just going to be a little bit different. So kick back, relax, enjoy it. It is one of my favorite episodes so far. The issue that I think business owners have a lot of times is we want more sales and we want to sell more people and we want to get better at sales. So give me the sales script, but the sales script's worthless if you don't have the integrity to do the things that you're asking the other person to do in the first place. I see oftentimes Kairos who get frustrated because they're like, nobody wants to commit to a care plan. They just want to pay me visit by visit. And I'm like, bro, when's the last time you got adjusted? Well, four weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago, the last time I saw you and you adjusted me. And I'm like, do you think that's part of the problem? You're asking someone to commit to you 2 times, 3 times a week. And this could be the case for any business, but then you don't follow through on the same thing that you're recommending to other people. The same thing could be nutritionally true. Like, how many people are like, oh, you got to stop drinking alcohol, or you should eat keto, or whatever. But then you go look at their pantry at their house, or what they're eating, or what they're feeding their kids, and like it doesn't match up at all. To me, what it is integrity. Are your standards that you say you have outwardly to the people that you're selling to, are those the same standards you have when you step into your home, like behind closed doors? And for most people, it's not. So if you have the framing techniques, and you have the sales script, and you have how to overcome the objections, and you have identifying false beliefs, and like all this, how to tell a good story, like all the stuff that makes somebody a good salesperson, you can have every single component of it. But if you still suck as a human being and you don't have good standards for yourself, then people will sniff it out. People will know that you're not who you said you were. And it's freeing. It's like liberating when you get to the point where your standards are in alignment all the time. Because then whether someone says yes or no to you, you know that you're in congruency and there's no frustration. But the cool part of it is when you get into congruency, more people are actually going to show up and trust you in the first place. And you don't know how it happens, but it all has to do with you stepping into, this is who God made me to be. I'm going to live in complete alignment with that. And then people just appreciate it and they know it.
For the uninitiated, can you give like a brief rundown of what the heck framing is?
Yeah. So framing's my favorite conversation. I did not create this. I'm not smart enough to create this. What I do know, though, is that it exists all the time, 100% of the time, in every single human social interaction that you will ever have forever from now until eternity. And the concept is called framing. So the first person who I heard talk about this is a guy named Oren Klaff. There were probably people before, but he has a book called Pitch Anything, and he talks about framing. So what framing is, if you think about the concept of a picture frame, the point of a picture frame is to draw someone's attention to what's inside of the frame. So effectively, in social interaction, every person is either being framed or owning the frame. Every social interaction. So this could be marriage, this could be at work, this could be when you're in a sales thing, if you're trying to buy a new car, like it's always happening, you just don't know that it's happening. Framing is the idea that whoever owns the frame, they set the rules and the tone for what that social interaction will be about. Whoever's getting framed has to follow by the other person's rules, for lack of a better term. So a simple example of this would be when you walk into a traditional doctor's office, every time that I've ever been in one, and it's been a long time now, you go in and they make you come to the front desk and they give you a clipboard that you have to fill out, and then you have to sit down and you have to wait until they call you back. And so there's all these frames happening. And the frame is that you're going to come in, you're going to fill out our paperwork, you're going to wait, you'll wait until somebody calls you back, then you're going to go back to another waiting room and you're going to wait again, and then eventually the doctor will meet with you. You can't circumvent that process. You can't walk into a doctor's office and say, hey, I want to see the doctor right now. Like, it doesn't happen. So there's those frame pieces. Just have a seat over there. We'll call you back when we're ready. That frame is called a beta trap. And these happen all the time, dude. Like, no matter where you go, they happen. A time frame is another example of a frame. So if someone came in, and I used to see this all the time. People will come in the back. I only have 30 minutes to do the exam. I can't do a whole hour. And it's like, okay, if you don't have an hour, then like come back when you have a full hour, because we're not going to play by your time frame. Another way to break that frame, this is where it gets all tactical, would be like, that's okay, we only have 28 minutes. So there are ways to set the frame and set the tone and set the conversation. These happen all the time. So there are power frames, there are time frames, there are intrigue frames, there are beta traps. There's a bunch of other different types of frames. But if you understand framing and you're framing people, but you're out of integrity with doing so, then you'll still end up in a place where you're going to be frustrated because people are going to pick up on it. And if you're getting people, even if people say yes and commit to you, then what'll happen is eventually they're going to be frustrated because they're going to find out that you're not who you said you were, or you don't commit. How many times are people in the office surprised but like relieved when they see us all getting adjusted? Because they're like, whoa, who adjusts you? And it's like, I can assure you that my daughter gets adjusted twice a week. Like, we have the nanny literally bring her in. So anything I'm asking you to do, I can assure you I'm doing it for my family. So there's a level of integrity that's involved, and the sales tactics, like the frames, is one piece of it, right? Those don't mean anything unless we are in integrity. So yeah, big principle sales scripts mean nothing. Even like if you are able to handle objections, which I think we've been training a lot on that as a team, is like, how do we handle objections? How do we do it cleanly? How do we do it where we're still honoring people? But the bottom line, it comes like this, is like, there's a principle of be, do, have. So first you have to be, and then you do, and then you have. But a lot of people just want to do without being, and then they expect things to show up that never show up in their lives as a result. Anything worth doing well doesn't work that way. So that's kind of the idea, is like, you can have the tactics of the objection handling or the sales script, and like, what do I say word for word when this thing happens? Or how do I get people to not ghost me? Or what's my follow-up sequencing? Or what's my framing? Or how do I build intrigue? And how do I create desire? And how do we like get someone to boost dopamine but not boost too much of it, and create this perfect balance between attention and like worry, and like all the things that you can do in the sake of a conversation with someone. That's all the tactical, like, back end stuff that's running. No matter how much of that you do, if you're not becoming, outside of those tactics, the person who is of integrity, is of who God called you to be, is of who your family looks up to, is of who you're proud of, is someone who's going to be able to lead people well and steward those relationships well. Like, if you don't become that person, then I literally said the word become, then you won't do the things, or if you do the things, they won't lead to having the things that you said that you wanted, or having, even more importantly, having the things that God promised you that you would have if you had followed in alignment with who you truly are. I shared the story before on the podcast, but it's like one of the most pivotal moments in my life is when I had someone come in and very much, like, I would use the word persecute me for using all of those sales strategies. And it was a moment where, like, it made me question, am I doing this all for the right reasons? But definitively what I've gotten since then is 100% yes, for sure. So, like, yeah, I understand these things. But if you aren't a good human being in the process, then none of it is going to stick, and people are going to pick it apart in the first place. And it might offend some people, but this is what it comes down to, is like, when we talk about sales, what's our responsibility in sales? Our responsibility in sales is to get someone, to get them the result that they told you that they wanted. And it doesn't matter, like, it could be in a, like, business setting like this. It could be in a marriage. I think there's a level of sales and persuasion that happens with your children. So understanding these frameworks can allow you to be a better communicator overall inside of your household, which will then overflow into, and I would never use any of these in a malicious or ill-intentful way in my household, but I might use them with my wife and understand the dynamics of them, because I'm trying to get her to do something specific for me that otherwise she may not want to do. or something that she said she wanted to do, but gets frustrated when I want to hold her accountable to the result that she said she wanted. And that's all sales is like literally helping someone get a result. And if you don't do everything you can do to become the best version of yourself possible to help people get the result that they said they wanted, then like morally, you're not in alignment. You have a moral obligation to help people. Wherever you are, whatever you do for your business, you have moral obligation to help people and do the right thing for people. Part of that sometimes can include sales. And whether it's like physical money exchange or getting someone to do something for you, it's all persuasion, it's all sales, and it's important to understand the dynamics of it, but the tactics don't matter if you don't become a good person in the process. If this hit for you, a couple of things you can do. One, go follow me on Instagram. You can message me at Dr. Daniel Kimbley. If you're interested in getting some of these frameworks that we use inside of our office, our exact sales process, I would love for you to just message me and I'll send it right over to you. You can just say Playbook and the DMs, and I'll get you all set up. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us. As always, subscribe to this video. We'll keep dropping them every single week, and I love you and appreciate you so much. Peace.